I'm Chris Thompson, Product Manager over Vacuum Excavation here at Ditch Witch. Today we're going to cover the HXT75 1200 gallon. It's the largest in the HXT line with 1200 gallons of capacity and a 75 horsepower vacuum system. Today we're going to talk about the HXT75 1200 gallon. It's mated to a Kenworth T880. We do have several different configurations of this vac and this truck, all the way down to a Kenworth T280 that is under CDL. For the variation that works for you, contact your local Ditch Witch dealer. We'll start out today with this truck. The T880 is a new offering from Kenworth, has a larger cab, has a lot of nice features inside of it, including air ride seats, and all of these trucks come with an automatic Allison transmission, so you don't have to worry about having a driver who's qualified to drive a standard transmission. But enough about the truck, let's talk about the vac. On this package, this is bolted to the frame rails. The reason we do that is it allows for a bunch of flex in the skid. And so the skid will be able to flex when you're going down the road, it'll be able to move, and that way there's not too much rigidity. Makes for a much nicer ride in the truck, and it adds to the longevity of the skid. We start looking at, we have storage here, across body, and then we have the access platform so that you can get up if you need to work on the vac, do your service points, do your maintenance, you're able to do that from this ladder very easily. We have a grab handle as well. One of the things you'll notice on these trucks is all these trucks have LED lighting all over the place. So we've got a lot of work lights, we've got a lot of LED lighting, helps light up that job site. We know particularly when it gets into the fall, into the winter, it can get dark early and stay dark for a long time. And so because of that, we put a lot of lighting on these trucks to help you out. And we do have the van air system on here. One of the things that's the most unique about the HXT lineup is that it's powered from an individual power pack. And so instead of trying into the truck PTO, we're using the power pack here that allows us to have a van air system on here, and you can run those simultaneously. The other thing this allows you to do is in an application such as micro trenching, you're able to mobile that truck at any speed you would like and still run the vacuum. We have a remote control on here. This remote control is updated from our FXT line. It has fully wireless, and you can run every function on the vac that you'd like. So you can turn the vac on and off, you can raise and lower the door, you can raise and lower the tank, you can turn the vibration on, you can swing your boom. All the things you want to do this vac, you can do from this remote control right here. It's also magnetic, so if you need to just set it down, not a problem. As we move down the truck, you can see we have additional toolbox storage here, and then we have the air hose for the van air system that we talked about, so that you can hook onto that. We also have the filtration. So this is the same make or break filtration we use on our trailer vacs. A lot of the technology we use on the trailer vacs, we also add to this HXT series, so we have that available for you. Your auxiliary hydraulic controls are here. And then we have a vibrator. So a vibrator is something that we've just started putting on some of these truck vacs, and basically whenever you get a settlement in the tank and you need to dump the tank, you can run that vibrator and it'll help loosen up the settlement and move that swells out faster. It is set to a momentary switch, so it's going to come on, it's going to run 15 seconds, and then it's going to shut itself off because you don't want to just leave that vibrator running all the time. You can control that from the remote, and it will automatically turn itself off, so you'll have to turn it back on to get it to run again. Here we have the water fill. One of the things I like about this is this water fill tube comes up and fills the tank, but then there's crossbody tubes that allow the tanks to fill evenly. And so whenever you're going down the road, your water is always going to be distributed evenly. We have the black tanks. The black tanks are something we recently went to on the trailers. We now have it on the HXTs as well. These black tanks, aside from looking very sharp, are good for algae retardant. And so with the clear tanks, we were running into some issues with algae, which can decrease pump life. And so we went to these black tanks, and that's taking care of that for us. Down the side, we have storage. So you can put extra tooling in here. You can put your wash wand or any extra tooling along the body that you'd like. And then we have the redundant controls. So if you were to have an issue with your remote, you have these controls here that you can open up, and they can do all the functions of the vac as well. And then we have the e-stop. If you run into some kind of emergency situation, there's an e-stop on the remote, but then there's also an e-stop here on the truck. Your hose reel here with 50 foot of hose, so you can get out, and whenever you're needing to spray down, you can do that, and then you hook up your wand here for potholing. So here at the back of the truck, you'll notice one of the biggest improvements on the truck is that we've gone to the standard HX style door on the 1200 gallon. Before we had a door that had a little bit of a complicated locking mechanism. We were able to redesign this tank so that we can get the standard cam over design on this, which is much simpler to operate. Additionally, one of my favorite features is the electric valving. So we have electric valving here and on the boom. And what that allows you to do is to operate these valves remotely. So if you're off away from the truck and you need to activate the reverse flow, you can open this valve and turn on your reverse flow. Also, from the boom, you can start and stop suction from the boom from the remote by using the electronic valving on the boom. We have the storage here for your tooling, and then we have a debris flap. This debris flap is nice whenever you're having to dump out, so it kind of concentrates the debris into one area as opposed to just going all over the back of the truck. We have storage for pneumatic tooling here, and then we also have storage for your hoses here. So we have 3 different compartments where you can store hose here, here, and here. You can get 5-inch hose on here, or you can also get 4-inch hose. Here we have the tow set up, and so we have a hitch here, 20-ton hitch, so you can take a drill to the job site if that's what you're interested in doing. Cone storage here, and then here we have the boom access platform. So the first thing you do is push this latch, and then you lower the ladder. Then you just climb the ladder to the top. Once you're up on the ladder, you pull the pin to release the gate. Pull the gate up towards you. And then once it's in proper position, replace the pin. And then you're safe to get onto the platform. That way you can get in there. There's some kind of a clog in that elbow, or if you need to do any change of the hosing or servicing of that hosing, you're able to climb up there safely. There are D-ring tie-outs up there so that you can tie yourself out if you need to be strapped down. And any maintenance that needs to be done, now you have a nice platform to be able to do that maintenance on. So coming down the driver's side of the truck, you can also see we have additional storage here along this side of the truck. We also have additional storage here for tools, and then we have a boiler. So a boiler is great whenever you have cold weather and you need to keep that water warm. The other thing a boiler does well is if you're in an area where you have a lot of dry, compacted clay, haven't had a lot of rain in a while, it's hot, and get those August, September days. Adding hot water whenever you're cutting will help loosen up the spoils faster and allow you to cut more efficiently. And so you need to be thinking about boilers in those conditions as well. As you come down here, you see we have another ladder to access the platform and to work and do maintenance. If you look up here at the top of the boom, one of the things that we've added is we've added a plate that you can hook your hose to, and so you can lock onto that plate, and that stops the hose from just swaying and banging and hitting your antifreeze tank or hitting other items there on the back of the truck and scratching up the truck, and just keeps everything nice and compact there. So we're at the power pack, and as we mentioned, one of the features of this truck is you can run the power independently of the truck, and so you can mobile the truck and still have your power pack going at full functionality. This one has a Kubota 74 horsepower engine in it. It allows for 1315 on the CFM and allows for 16 inches of mercury. As I mentioned before, we also have other configurations. We make an HXT50 that has a 49 horsepower engine at 1005 CFM. We also make an HXT30 that has 24 horsepower and has 512 CFM. Again, talk to your local ditch witch dealer about the configuration that works best for you. And then looking back up, we have the power boom. So the things I really like about this are the boom is extendable by power, it swings by power, and so you have 360 degrees of swing. You have 12.5 foot of reach on this. Also, as we mentioned before, you have the valving on here so you can turn suction on and off on the boom from the remote, and then you're able to get that power moving around. We also have the lights here, and so you have LED work lights that you can adjust so they're shining down on your work area. Thanks for watching the video. As you can tell, we're very excited to bring the power and the reliability of the HX trailer vac line to the truck vac market. As we mentioned in the video, there are several different configurations of this truck vac available. Contact your local ditch witch dealer for the one that works for you. Thanks for your time.